Last week, we experienced cold temperatures and a wintry mess. It's what we've come to expect for Oklahoma winter. So we thought it'd be fun today in Tulsa Treasures to check out winters past. Jack Frank with Tulsa Films joins us once again this morning for our monthly segment. We missed you last month, but we're happy to get going on track today. This was perfect
This was
timing.
fun.
Yes. As you go through your archives and you find something like this, tell us, it's like, how do you have all this documented?
Well, a lot of times people would, back in the day when I was doing this 20 years ago, people were bringing us their old home movies and not knowing that this would make it on TV one day. So it's fun to go through people's home movies and be able to find out where that location is in today's Tulsa. And I think I told you some of the, as the video comes up, I'll talk about where it is, but it's like you're a detective and it's like, oh, that was that place. And that place in 1930s is there. And you start putting all this together.
Well, and with the weather that we've had, and we think, well, this is just unique to this time of our lives. But let's go back to this video that we're going to take a look at. I mean, this was back in the 20s and 30s?
Yeah, around 1930, and this, we happen to know that house right there, it says 1608 in the background. Right. That's 1608 South Peoria, and that house, that stone structure, the rock structure is still there.
Really?
So this is people having fun in it was a very cold, I looked it up online, and 1929, 1930 was a very cold time in Oklahoma and Tulsa, and so cold that the area lakes froze up. This is a gentleman skating on a lake out at Mohawk Park. So it would have had to get pretty cold.
Now, how would you know that? How would you know that that was Mohawk? Was that because the person
wrote it on some of her notes, and
really?
I had to look through her handwriting and see where that was. This, maybe people will recognize, this is Swan Lake over there near 21st and Utica. Now, it had to get pretty cold for Swan Lake to freeze up. And you can see, sometimes we can tell what year it is by the cars that go by.
And I don't know if it's on this clip or not, but I was watching some of them, and there were a couple of ladies and a little kid walking, and I'm thinking it's freezing cold, but they were wearing like dresses and very fancy coats, and just to see how the houses have changed there, that whole landscape looks different. But yeah, see those ladies? I'm like, why are they not? Well, because they didn't probably wear slacks.
That's how they dressed. And again, I'm not a car expert, but people that know say, oh, that's a 1926 Ford, so it has to be around that area. And people skated indoors in Tulsa at one time. This is the old Coliseum, which was at the corner of 6th and Elgin, and they had ice skating there, they had hockey games there. This was kind of the Tulsa gathering place before the BOK Center, and I'm told that they would have hockey players, the Tulsa Oilers hockey players, go down and help people skate.
Wanted to skate.
So some of these guys, you have to feel, were probably members of the Tulsa Oilers hockey team, helping people at the Coliseum. Like those guys probably are
management or some good associates or something. I just love the fact that how people dressed.
Smoking.
Right. That was a big thing, and dressing up, and I just think that was fascinating. Now we're looking at this with some colorization. Did you add that?
Yeah. Now, people have heard about the artificial intelligence and the programs that can do things, and now we're able to add that to film, and it's not perfect, but it makes. We can colorize this. All this film you've been seeing today started off black and white, and we've used programs to go in and colorize it. And again, it's not perfect, but it makes it a little bit, in my mind, a little bit more lifelike. And helps you think, oh, that could have been yesterday. So all this started off as black and white.
It's fascinating. So if people at home, especially as maybe older people are passing away, they're going through estates, and they run across those, is it primarily 8mm, or is it?
8mm, Super 8, and 16mm, which was more. All that you saw came off 16mm, which was around back in the 20s and 30s. But we tell people, if you bring us your films, we'll transfer it for free give you digital copies of it so we can use it.
Sure,
today.
and then we can show it hopefully
we can show it on TV.
down the road. I love that. And if you'd like more information, you can check out tulsafilms.com. And of course, Jack will be back with us again next month. And if you have an idea of what you'd like to see, you can email me or go to my Facebook page. That way I can connect with Jack and say, do you have, I've already asked because I want to know about Easter, because I know, you know, and of course the different malls that have gone around. You know, I as a little kid, Southland, South Roads, when they were outdoor and malls. So anyway, it'll be fun. We look forward to seeing you next month.
Well, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
We enjoy it. All right, it's 9:19, an Instagram account keeping people entertained while also teaching good eating habits. Still ahead, we're going to hear about feeding littles and how it's helping parents get a hold on mealtime.
Flower shops are buzzing with business ahead of Valentine's Day. We'll tell you what's popular this year and how you can make your own bouquet.